Hey, I'm Brian Van, SportbikeTrackYou.com, and today we're going to install the Woodcraft SkutrNet Servo Buddies. I said buddies, plural. That means you need two on our 2018 BMW S1000RR STG project bike. Okay, like I said, this BMW S1000RR has two exhaust servo motors on it, just like my Suzuki GSX-R 1000R did. One up front, one in the back. The one in the front, cliff notes, I'll give it to you right now. The one in the front, that's a piece of cake. That's easy to change, all right? So Servo Buddy number one, you need two for this job. That's easy up there. Bing, bang, you're out of there. The one in the back, oh, it's not like that at all. They decided to tuck that bitch up in here, right in here, okay? I'm gonna show you what it takes to remove it and install the Servo Buddy. It took a little bracket bending, right? A little creativity, because it is really, really tight. You'd have to pull all kinds of shit that you don't wanna pull off for this. Trust me, you don't wanna do it to gain access to do this and really give you guys a great view of it. So we're gonna do the best we can to get you as close as possible. But please understand up front, it's just not an amazing close-up view of this. I did this in advance of the full system to avoid check engine light problems on some of the newer bikes, and I don't even know if the BMW is included in that or not. If you remove the servo motors, install your exhaust before you put your Servo Buddies on and key the thing up and start it up, you're gonna turn on a check engine light. And once that check engine light comes on a lot of the newer OBD2 bikes, the only way to turn it off is to have it cleared with a scan tool. If you don't have a scan tool, that's a pain in the ass. Nobody likes a pain in the ass. So for that reason, what I would do is what I did. Put both your Servo Buddies on this bad boy before you do the exhaust. Okay, this BMW S1000RR has two exhaust servo motors in it. It has one up here for the header, okay? The motor is right here. It's easy to get to. So we're going to start with the easy one. The second one is on the rear side of the engine by the swing arm. It really sucks. You can't see it from here, and you really can't even see it from the other side. Why they had to tuck that bad boy up in there, I don't know, but we're going to show you how to get it out. I'm putting the exhaust Servo Buddies, right, the SkutrNet exhaust Servo Buddies on before I even install the exhaust system. On a lot of the newer bikes, if you don't put these on before you remove the servo motor, right? Don't even key it up with the servo motor unplugged. If you don't put these on beforehand, oftentimes it'll set a code that can only be cleared using a scan tool, and for some people that can be a problem. So for that reason, before we do the exhaust, we're going to install both of these. For the header, the servo motor is literally right here bolted to the frame. I'm not going to be removing the bodywork during these videos. We did a comprehensive bodywork removal and install video, so if you need some help with that, please refer to that video, and I'll show you how to get all these pieces off and every one of them back on. All right, we're gonna start down here with the cable for the servo. We need to break the jam nut loose. Access is a little tight here. You get that jam nut loose, like so, and then we should be able to slide the cable itself off. We're going to do the best we can to show you everything close up. Please understand it's kind of difficult because there's just not a lot of room. Okay, cable's off. Got some cable ties we need to trim. I can actually, just that whole piece can come off there. Bam, don't need that anymore. Now we're going to come up here and remove the servo motor from the frame of the motorcycle itself. Some more cable ties here, securing some wiring. This project is, because I've already taken a kind of a look at this to scout it out a little bit. And I'll tell you right now that in comparison to the Japanese bikes that we've done here in the past, this project is on a whole different level. The servo motor is secured to the frame up front here using 25 mil Torx bits. Attached to that bracket. Hard to see the release is here. Just gonna unplug it and see if I can get just a little more slack here. Cut this cable tie up here too. Here is the connector for the servo itself. Get in here and release that. The release is right here. Got behind there with a little flat blade screwdriver. I'm able to manipulate this a little bit and hopefully get a better look at which way this bad boy is coming off. Like so. So if you look right in here, from the bottom up, push on this little release tab here in this direction. It's going to allow you to slide that off. Here is the servo motor and the cable. Okay, now we'll plug in our SkutrNet Servo Buddy. Like so. Make sure you hear a good positive click. Let's go ahead and connect your plug back in here as well. And then we'll have to come back and tidy this all up with cable ties. I think that'll do it. trim off the tails, and then we'll be ready to tackle the more difficult one, which is on the rear right side. Okay, so the one for the exhaust valve that's right back here, it is back here on the back side of the engine next to the regulator. This is pretty tight quarters, okay? Not super excited about doing this one. Not exactly sure how this one's gonna come off. Gonna try and make a little more room by removing the rear set bracket from the bikes and give me a little more room to access this. Trying to fold it up and out of the way as much as possible. Watch the painted surfaces. Okay, so that's going to get us just a little bit more room, and you can see it now right there. Okay, once again, still very tight quarters. Trim cover here. That covers the cables themselves. Tab up here. I see it poking through here, like so. Okay, you can see these metal tabs were actually poking through the holes that were in this plastic cover. Release that, and now we'll loosen up the jam nuts here. Cables are off. You can see they just kind of run between the swing arm and the motor. Okay, now the electrical connector. Do the best we can to show you this. I'll put the screwdriver in there to release the tab, and I'm putting downward pressure by rotating the screwdriver. At the same time I'm compressing that tab. Okay, connector is unplugged. See it kind of peeking out over to the left. There is one visible mounting screw, all right, and I'll show you that. It's right here. So you have that. Pretty easy. The servo motor is basically bolted to a bracket, okay? And I cannot see where the other end of the bracket is attached to the back of the trans. I think it kind of intersects with the bracket for that regulator there. But I gotta tell you, you just literally, you can't see shit here. I mean, this is just super, super tight. So I'm gonna need to take a minute here to assess the situation and determine how I'm gonna get this all apart. Okay, well, I have it sorted out and I'm gonna show you what I did, okay? Some of you may agree with it. Some of you may be like, dude, really? But trust me, it makes sense. Okay, so here is the servo motor, right? And here is, look at this rail. So this actually was sliding over. Oh wow, look at how long that is too. No wonder that was such a pain in the ass. Okay, this was slid over. This is like a metal tab off that bracket. Ultimately, when I do the shock, I'm probably gonna pull that thing out of there. Maybe I'll cut it off, or maybe I'll use it now to secure the Servo Buddy. Hard to say, we'll make that call as we move forward. But in order to slide this thing far enough back, what I ended up doing was bending the little bracket that I don't need anymore. You can see this right here. This is the very same bracket that has the bolt hole for the fastener that holds the servo motor in place. That is what was restricting me. I could have tried to get in there and unbolt this, which was also going to be a pain in the ass, or I could push on it really hard and bend it out of the way, allowing me to release the servo motor. I would say for you, do what you feel is most appropriate. That bracket is going away. That's not something we're going to be using, okay? So to, bend it a little bit right now is really not an issue. Now we're to the point where we can get out our Servo Buddy, get this bad boy plugged in, and make sure we have all the wires secured with cable ties. Okay, now we're ready to get our servo motor eliminator plugged in. Push it forward until you feel a good positive click, okay? From here, I need to go and make sure that I have any of the wires that I had moved around to facilitate this install secured once again. Once I have that done, I will then secure the Servo Buddy to the beamer so it's out of the way. All right. The harness that I'm securing right now is actually for the electronically controlled suspension. For our application, that is going to no longer be utilized. Jimmy has Olin's, I believe, for this motorcycle. I think it's Olin's, could be K-Tech. But we have full suspension, non-electronic, that's going to be going on this bike in one of our future installs. Get a couple of cable ties up in here and get this all secured. And then we can put the rear set back on the bike. In this video, I will not be showing the bodywork reinstalled on the bike, okay? If you need help doing that, we have a full video that covers removal and reinstallation. I decided to do that as just one piece, so you all would have that for your reference. I'm gonna get one more cable tie here. It is just tight in there, man. Sometimes you need to turn a corner with a cable tie, just kind of fold it like that. Once again, apologies for the limited access here. It's so tight and really difficult to give you a close-up view of this one. And I just didn't see any value in, you know, a real deep disassembly. For this project. For the exhaust, Jimmy's got a Kropovic full system, pretty badass, that we're going to be putting on. Leaves the bungee strap. Reinstall the rear set. And we'll be good to go. Like I said, this video is going to look a little incomplete. That's because this is only just a small part of the project. And what I can do here too, just to deal with this little bracket. See if I can't reach up in here, kind of straighten it back out a little bit. End of the day, I really think that was the right approach here, because I wouldn't leave this tab on this bracket. Moving forward, let's back off real quick. I wouldn't leave this tab on this bracket. Even if we were going to continue using this bracket, ultimately we'll probably put like a Superbike reservoir kit back here that eliminates the brake reservoir. You know, kind of a cleaner look. Check that move back around. So, there you have it. There is servo number 2 eliminated from our 2018 BMW S1000RR. Exhaust install is up next. If you have any questions, just please leave them in the comments section of this video. I answer all those myself, and I'm here to help you get the same result from your project we do from ours.